Welcome to the English journey. Today, what I'm about to tell you can change your entire life. Not tomorrow, not someday, not when the time is right. Right now. Your future, your success, your relationships, your opportunities, or they are all waiting at the other side of one skill. And that skill is communication. Think about it. Every single thing you want in life is connected to how you communicate. You want a better job? You've got to communicate your value. You want respect? You've got to communicate like someone worth respecting. You want love, influence, leadership, impact, all of it, every single bit of it comes down to how you speak, how you express, how you connect. Let me wake you up today. If you cannot communicate, you cannot lead. And if you cannot lead, you cannot win. That's why in this video I'm giving you 12 powerful, practical, and life-changing tips that will take your communication skills from average to magnetic. But before we even get into the tips, I need you to understand this one thing. Your voice, your words, are your weapon. They can either open doors for you, or they can keep you locked in the same prison you've been in for years. So, let's go. Let's get into this. Let's talk about how you can finally speak like a leader. Tip 1. Master the power of presence. Have you ever met someone who walks into the room and immediately, without even saying much, you feel their energy? You notice them. You pay attention. That's presence. Now, most people think communication is only about the words you speak. Wrong. Words are just 7% of communication. The rest? Your tone, your body, language, your presence. So ask yourself right now, when you walk into a room, do people notice you? Or do you disappear into the background? When you speak, do people lean in? Or do they check their phones? Presence is not about being the loudest. It's about being the most authentic and intentional. It's about standing tall, making eye contact, slowing down your voice so people feel your confidence even before you finish your first sentence. And here's the secret. Presence starts before you even open your mouth. It starts with how you hold yourself, the way you breathe, the way you own your space. Imagine two people, one slouched, fidgeting, mumbling, the other one standing straight, calm, composed, clear. Who do you trust more? Who do you follow? Exactly. So the first step to communicating like a leader is not what you say, it's how you show up. Tip 2. Learn the art of listening. You want to know the biggest mistake people make when trying to be good speakers? They talk too much. Everybody wants to talk. Everybody wants to be heard. But very few want to listen. And guess what? The best communicators aren't the ones who just speak well. They are the ones who listen deeply. Why? Because when you listen, you understand. And when you understand, your words carry weight. When you really listen, the other person feels seen, respected, valued. And that right there, that's leadership. So next time you're in a conversation, stop waiting for your turn to talk. Stop rehearsing your reply in your head. Instead, be present. Hear every word. Notice every tone. Watch every gesture. And then respond with clarity and intention. Leaders don't just speak. Leaders listen so powerfully that people can't wait to hear what they'll say next. Tip 3. Speak with clarity, not complexity. Let me tell you something you probably don't want to hear. Nobody is impressed by how complicated you sound. Nobody cares about your big vocabulary if they can't understand you. The greatest communicators in history, leaders, presidents, visionaries, they spoke simply, powerfully, clearly. Think about Martin Luther King Jr. He didn't say, "I have a well-articulated, strategic framework." He said, "I have a dream, simple, clear, unforgettable." So here's my challenge to you. Stop trying to sound smart. Start trying to be clear. If you can explain something so simply that even a child could understand it, that is intelligence. That is leadership. So ask yourself, when you speak, do you make things clearer or more confusing? Tip 4. Own your voice. Too many people speak like they're apologizing for existing. Their voice is low, shaky, uncertain, like they're afraid of being judged. Guess what? People can smell that weakness from a mile away. Your voice is your power. And if you don't use it with strength, nobody will take you seriously. Now, I don't mean yelling. I don't mean being aggressive. I mean speaking with conviction, with certainty, with authority. Practice it. Record yourself. Listen back. Adjust your tone. Learn how to pause. Learn how to emphasize. Learn how to put energy in your words. Because here's the truth. If you don't believe in what you're saying, why should anyone else? Let me pause here for a moment and hit you with this. Your communication skills are not just some nice extra to have. They are the very foundation of your career, your relationships, your influence. You want to be respected? Communicate like it. You want to be remembered? Communicate like it. You want to be a leader? Then earn it. Start speaking like one. I'm going to give you 8 more tips that will completely transform the way you connect, persuade, and lead. But don't just sit there and listen. Take notes, reflect. Ask yourself, where am I weak? Where do I need to grow? What's stopping me from speaking like a leader today? Because remember this, you only get one life, one chance, one voice, and the way you use it will determine everything. Tip 5. Master the power of storytelling. Listen to me. Facts tell, but stories sell. You can list 100 statistics you can. Throw data at people until their eyes glaze over, but one story, one raw, human story, will cut through all of it. Why? Because we don't connect to information. We connect to emotion. We connect to people. We connect to stories. Think about the speeches that stuck with you. Think about the conversations you'll never forget. Chances are they weren't just facts. They were stories. Stories of struggle, of pain, of triumph. Because stories make your words come alive. So if you want to boost your communication skills, practice telling stories. Not fake, not exaggerated, not some boring 5-minute monologue. Real, raw stories. Tell the story of the time you failed, the time you fought, the time you almost gave up but didn't. Tell stories that matter, stories that make people feel, because if you can make people feel, you can make them remember, and if they remember, you've already won. Tip 6. Eliminate filler words and weak language. You know what kills powerful communication faster than anything? Weak, empty filler words. Like, sort of, kind of. Stop. Every time you throw in those words, you are telling the world, I am not confident. I don't believe in my own words. A leader doesn't say, I think maybe we should try this. A leader says, this is what we're going to do. Clear, direct, strong. So here's a challenge for you. Record yourself speaking for 2 minutes on any topic, then listen back. Count how many times you said, or like. It's going to shock you, but it's also going to wake you up. Because leaders don't fill space with noise. They fill it with meaning. And the only way to get there is to train yourself. Replace filler words with pauses. Replace kind of with certainty. Replace I think with I believe. Weak words equal weak influence. Strong words equal strong leadership. Tip 7. Use body language like a weapon. Here's the thing. Your body speaks. Before your mouth ever opens, people see you before they hear you. And if your body language screams insecurity, you've already lost the battle. Let me paint a picture. 2 people walk on stage. One walks with their head down, shoulders slouched, hands fidgeting. The other walks tall, eyes up, shoulders back, hands calm. Who do you respect before they even say a word? Exactly. Communication isn't just about words. It's about how your body reinforces those words. Use your hands, purposefully, not nervously. Use your eyes. Look directly at the person, not at the floor. Use your posture. Command space. Don't shrink into it. And listen closely. If your body and your words don't match, people will trust your body. You could be saying, I'm confident. But if your shoulders are shaking, nobody buys it. So train yourself. Watch yourself in the mirror. Study great speakers. Practice until your body language is aligned with your message. Because leaders don't just speak, they embody their message. Tip 8. Practice the power of silence. This one is hard because silence feels uncomfortable. Silence feels like weakness. But let me tell you something. Silence is one of the most powerful tools in communication. Why? Because silence creates tension, and tension makes people lean in. Most people are afraid of silence. They rush to fill every gap with words, noise, anything. But leaders are not afraid to pause. When you pause after a powerful statement, you give people time to absorb it. When you pause before answering, you show you're thoughtful, not reactive. When you pause instead of babbling, you show control. Think of it like music. What makes music powerful isn't just the notes, it's the space between the notes. Same with speaking. The silence is what gives your words weight. So next time you want to sound powerful, don't just focus on what you say. Focus on what you don't say. Because sometimes silence speaks louder than words. Now let me stop right here and ask you, are you actually applying this? Or are you just nodding saying, yeah, this sounds good, and then going back to the same habits tomorrow? Because if that's the case, you're wasting your time. You're wasting your one life. Understand this. Nobody is coming to hand you influence. Nobody is coming to beg you to be a leader. You either rise up or you stay invisible. And it all comes down to how you communicate. People don't follow the silent. They don't follow the uncertain. They don't follow the ones who speak like they're asking for permission. They follow the ones who own their presence, who tell stories that move them, who speak clearly, who use silence and body language like fire. This is your wake-up call, your reminder that life is too short to mumble your way through it, your reminder that if you want to lead, you must speak like a leader. Now we've covered 8 tips and you're already feeling the shift. You're already imagining yourself speaking stronger, showing up with more presence, more confidence, more clarity. But we're not done, because the last 4 tips, they are going to take everything we've built so far and push it into overdrive. And when you apply them, you won't just be a better communicator. You'll be unforgettable. You'll be magnetic. You'll be unstoppable. But before we move on, I want you to sit with this. If you died tomorrow, would people remember your voice? Would they remember what you stood for, what you said, how you made them feel? Or would you vanish into the noise like you were never here? That's why this matters. That's why this is urgent. That's why you cannot waste another day speaking small, because you only get one life. And if you don't use your voice now, then when? Tip 9. Learn to adapt your message to your audience. Here's what amateurs do. They give the same speech, the same tone, the same delivery to everyone. Here's what leaders do. They adapt. Think about it. The way you talk to your best friend is not the way you talk to a CEO. The way you'd inspire a team is not the way you'd comfort a loved one. Leaders understand this, because powerful communication is not about you. It's about the listener. If you don't know your audience, if you don't adjust your words, your tone, your energy, you'll lose them before you even begin. So before you speak, ask yourself, who am I talking to? What do they need? What do they fear? What do they want? And then tailor your words to hit them. Where it matters. Adaptability is not weakness. It's mastery. The best communicators are chameleons. They can inspire in the boardroom, comfort in the hospital, motivate on the stage, and connect at the dinner table. If you want to speak like a leader, stop speaking for yourself. Start speaking for them. Tip 10. Build emotional connection. Let me be brutally honest with you. People don't follow logic. People don't follow bullet points. People don't follow polished presentations. People follow emotion. You can have the perfect plan, the smartest idea, the most brilliant strategy. But if you don't make people feel something, they won't care. It'll go in one ear and out the other. So how do you build emotional connection? You share your truth. You show your vulnerability. You speak from the heart, not just the head. Stop pretending you're perfect. Stop hiding behind robotic professionalism. Stop being afraid to show the real you, because the real you, the one who has scars, who has fallen, who has fought back, that's the one people will connect to. Think about it. Have you ever heard someone share a story that broke you, open inside because you saw yourself in them? That's the power of emotional connection. It's not about perfection. It's about authenticity. And listen, if you're scared to open up, to let people see the real you, let me remind you of this. Walls don't just keep people out. They keep you trapped inside. Tear the wall down. Speak with heart. And watch how people lean in, not away. Tip 11. Practice relentlessly. Let me crush a myth right now. Great. Communicators are not born. They are made. Nobody comes out of the womb giving TED Talks. Nobody wakes up one day, magically confident, charismatic, and clear. They built it. They worked for it. They practiced until their voice, their timing, their stories, their presence, it all became second nature. So let me ask you, how much are you practicing, or do you just wing it every time? If you're serious about speaking like a leader, you cannot afford to wing it. You have to record yourself, study yourself, cringe at your mistakes, and do it again. You have to practice in front of the mirror. You have to practice in front of your friends. You have to practice until the nerves fade and the confidence takes over. Think about athletes. Do they just show up on game day and hope for the best? No. They train relentlessly, every single day. Why should communication be any different? Your voice is your career. Your words are your influence. Your communication is your ticket to everything you want. So stop treating it like a side hobby. Start treating it like your number one tool for success. Tip 12. Speak with urgency like this is your only chance. This is the final tip, and it's the most important one. You have to speak like this is your only chance, because it is. Think about it. You don't know how many conversations you've got left. You don't know how many chances you'll get to inspire someone, to share your truth, to stand up and lead. Every conversation could be the last. And yet most people speak like they've got forever. They mumble, they delay, they water down their words, they waste the moment. Not you. Not anymore. From this day on, you will speak with urgency, with fire, with the awareness that this moment, this conversation, this chance to connect, will never come again. Because when you speak like it's your only shot, people feel it. They feel your energy. They feel your conviction. They feel your urgency. And that urgency moves them. If you want to lead, you can't afford to sound casual about your mission. You have to speak like it matters, like life depends on it, like the person in front of you might never get this message again, because maybe they won't. Now let me bring this all together. 12 tips: presence, listening, clarity, owning your voice, storytelling, cutting, the filler, body language, silence, adapting, emotional connection, practice, urgency. The words you speak shape your career, your relationships, your influence, your legacy. And if you don't master them, you're gambling with your future. So here's the choice in front of you right now. You can close this video, nod your head, say that was good, and then go back to living small. Or you can decide right here, right now, that this is the day you take your voice seriously. This is the day you stop mumbling. This is the day you stop apologizing for existing. This is the day you stop hiding in the background. This is the day you rise up. This is the day you start speaking like the leader you were meant to be. This is the day you take control of your future.